The following film is presented in its complete theatrical version. It was rated R by the MPAA and may not be appropriate for children under 17.
Yo, what it is? Salute. Hope all is well. It is your boy Dirty. I am back once again live. I know I haven't been around for a while, and it's going to continue to be that way until I can get somebody to help me take care of my mom. That's just the way it's going to be. But you know, I'm still here. I'm still rocking with the nation. I got my own things to worry about, but I appreciate everybody for checking in on me, hollering at me. 50 billion things on YouTube. The fact that you allow me to grace your screen for any amount of time is greatly appreciated, more than I can verbally express. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. A little bit of news out of Raider camp. We're going to get into it. Raiders have come to agreement. I haven't seen no official signing or paperwork or nothing like that, but they have an understanding and a mutual agreement and supposedly signed. You know how the Raiders do. They take a day or two to put out the video of him signing. I'm not really sure what the numbers are or anything like that, but this is a player that I'm actually happy that we signed. This is a player that I called for in free agency to bring some stability, some understanding, some comprehension, some knowledge, some know-how of playing defensive back. And you know, everybody were like, "Oh, if we were going to sign him, we should have did this, should have that." And I told you, pump your brakes. They wanted to get the rookies in first, see where they was at, and then if they had to pull the trigger, then they will. I'm thinking this is a player that they had to pull the trigger on. I know rookies reported last week. I have gotten a strong indication that 2 or 3 of them may not quite fit the bill. They first year may not work out like they were hoping in the first year. And that's why we went to get Marcus Peters. Somebody who could bring them along, and get them ready. And it's a 1-year deal. I can't be mad at that. You know what I mean? I can't be mad at that. But before we get on with the show, I want to give some love to the people who have pulled up. My boy Dark Atheist is in the building. Shouts out to you. Salute to you, bro. Ryan O'Connor is in the building. What's good with you, Ryan, my guy? Salute to you. Anthony Estrada's in this bitch. What's good with you, Anthony? Salute to you, brother. Hope all is well. Willie Wayne is in the building. What's up, Willie Wayne? Loon, my dude. What's good with you, Brody? Hope all is well. Hope you're doing good. Pizzle 420, my guy, was good with you, man. Salute to you. Jolie, my dude, was good, man. Salute to you. J Dub, was good with you, man. Salute to you. Hope all is well with you, brother. Richard Lyon, my guy, was good with you, man. Salute to you. Hope all is well. The OG D Menace is in the building. What's good with you, D Menace, man? Salute to you, brother. Hope all is well with you. Al's Ghost, my guy. What's good with you, man? Salute to you. My dude, my guy, my brother. D Buck 77. What's good with you, Brody? Hope all is well. Digital Prayers, my nephew. What's good with you, man? Salute to you. Hope all is well. Hope you doing good, man. All eyes on G. Where you at? I see you right there. What's good with you, man? Hope all is well with you, man. Anthony Estrada says, hey, Dirty, great news on quarterback news. He's out of the way, cleared for week 1. Got another huge piece for defense. Oaktown native. We're just missing a piece of the puzzle. A huge piece, JJ. Yeah. And we'll get into that, later into the show. JJ has been the topic of every single show that I've watched, that I've paid attention to, that I've listened to. He's been the topic of every single show. And for me, I'm JJ'd out, bro. I'll be honest with you, man. I'm JJ'd out, man. And like I said, we'll address it later on in the show, most definitely. But appreciate you definitely being here and speaking your mind, brother. It's always welcome. You know what I mean? Here, you're always welcome to speak your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a guest backstage, a co-host for the night. This is definitely somebody that I rock with all the time. Y'all know how I do. I tell y'all, man, this is like my cousin, man. You know what I mean? It's like my cousin. Like if I shave off all my hair and put on some lokes, you would think I was Latino. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage my brother, the man who blessed you at that smoke out hour at 4:20 this afternoon. And he's back again, ladies and gentlemen, to kick it with me, talk to me and y'all. My boy, the one, the only, the king of 420 and all of Southern California. My boy, Mr. Redder Gabe. What's good with you, Gabe?
What's good, man? Chilling. How you doing, man? How you doing, Dirty?
It's my night off. You know what I mean? It's the one of 2 nights where I don't have to be at my mom's house. You know what I mean?
All right.
One of 2 nights where I don't have to be at my mom's house. So I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm definitely good. I'm all right. Yeah, you know.
That's cool, man. That's cool. That shit.
At least, you know what I mean?
Sometimes you gotta get your head straight. You know what I mean? You gotta get away from a little bit, but you know what I mean? Cool, man. Cool.
I just never thought I'd be. I never thought I'd be changing my mom's diapers. Truthfully,
yeah, man.
You know what I mean? I never thought I was gonna have to be wiping asses and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like that was.
Yeah.
I never thought, you know what I mean, my mom would end up in that state. I always knew my mom would get old. I just never thought she would end up in that state. You know what I mean? She's very for an.
I'm lucky. Like I'm lucky that my mom is able to live with my sister, so my sister takes care of all that shit. You know what I mean? But because she's like in the same boat. You know what I mean? I had to go through the same thing with my gramps though. My grandpa, when he got old and shit like that, I was the one. I was just like pretty much just caretaker all day. That I had to do the same shit pretty much. So I've been there. It's kind of like you can tell on their face too like they kind of like it's they don't want it. They don't want you to do it because they kind of feel embarrassed. But it's necessity.
Hey, look, the way I look at it is, man, she changed my diapers when I was a baby. You know what I mean? Yeah. When I was shitting and pooping and everything else, you know what I mean? She changed my diapers. So the least I could do is return the favor to, you know what I mean, yep. Somebody I love to death,
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Hey, J-Dub, my dude, salute to you. I appreciate that, man. Ozzy, I see you, brother. What's good with you, man? Ray Love, I see you too. What's good with you, brother? Hope all is well. And Death Star Report, I see you too, Dustin. What's good with you, man? Salute to you. Yeah, man. it is what it is. I'm not complaining. Please don't let anybody think that I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. You know what I mean? I got a beautiful wife that steps up and helps me. You know what I mean? With her being a registered nurse, she goes by every morning, makes sure my mom gets her meds and blood pressure checked and everything. You know what I mean? And you know, it's slow moving. And while we're speaking about that, take a gander, take it all in, enjoy it. It's gonna be one of the last few times that you'll see it. Uh, all of this is going to be packed up, moved out. Um, I'm actually moving studios. Studio is being moved up out of my garage to somewhere else. Actual room studio. Uh, so uh look for things to change. You know what I mean? Be a little bit different. I'm actually taking my studio to my old room at my mom's house since I spend most of my time there. I still live here with my wife, you know what I mean, but I spend a lot of time at my mom's, taking care of her. So I can't get to my studio and, sit down and do my investigations with the Raiders. I can't return my emails like I want to. I can't watch shows or be a part of shows like I want to be. So I'm moving everything from here to there. You know what I mean? Um, but enough about me, enough about my life, enough about what's going on. You didn't tune in for that. You tuned in to talk about the Raiders signing Marcus Peters. Um, and Five Star, what's good with you, man? Salute to you. All love, much respect to you. Uh, he says this should be a solid pickup. Most definitely, man. This has got to be a solid pickup. I told you a couple of weeks ago when he came in, he left without a deal. I said the Raiders were going to weigh their options. They were going to wait and see where they were at with their rookies, and if they weren't impressed, they would bring Marcus Peters back in and sign him. That's exactly what they did. The rookies came in last week. From my understanding, from a couple of people, some of them aren't right where they need them to be right about now. They're not at the point where they feel like they can actually make another jump. They're kind of at a stalemate and they need a little bit of guidance. He's bringing guidance, but he's also bringing experience. You know what I mean? The know-how, the understanding, being able to lock down in key situations. That's what he brings to the table. Twan, what's good with you, fam? Hope all is well, man. Salute to you. Uh, Protect the shield, my dude. What's good with you, man? Salute to you. Still got to do a show with my bro, man. I be tuning in every show, man. We still got to link up and do something, man. Just holla at me, man. Billy Bats, my guy. What's good with you, man? Salute to you. Hope all is well, man. Hope you're doing good.
So, Billy, we the people up in here. Yeah, it was craggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just. I think I have a feeling, with the Marcus Peters, what I see it like as like the Raiders gave him. The Raiders were weighing their options, and also I think he. I don't think like he might have thought it of himself. Maybe he thought maybe he had a bigger market out there, so that's why I don't think he took that first deal either. And then he went out, found out that like there's not too much of a market like for anybody pretty much at this point right now. Like the market is fucking stale as as fuck. As nobody's really gotten picked up. There's guys on free agency list that I mean, there's still guys out there who can still help teams out there and shit. You know what I mean? But it's like I just felt like the Raiders were gonna wait. They had a number in mind and they didn't and they let Peters go out there, test the waters, and then, second time back, Marcus Peters was like, you know what, I'm gonna take that money. You know what I mean? And I just think that the Raiders did a good job because I think they called his bluff a little bit too. Because like they could have just been like, oh, you know what? When he left the building the first time, it could have just upped the offer then and there, and just been like, you know what I mean? But I think the the waiting game kind of paid off for them, and they got him at the number that they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is first and foremost. There hasn't been a season that he hasn't had an interception. At least one. There's not a season on his resume where he has not had at least one interception, aside from 2021 when he didn't play. So it doesn't matter. He didn't play. I can't get an interception if I'm not on the field. But every other season that he has played, he's had at least one interception. At least one. We've had interest in Marcus Peters for a very long time. Even before this front office that we have now, before the last front office that we had a lot of interest in Marcus Peters.
Yeah.
We didn't take him. Instead, we took Amari Cooper, but we did bring him in during that draft class visit. We did work him out. He was up there on the he was up there on the draft board. It's just at the time we needed a little something else. We kind of got it, but I feel like I still think I probably would have enjoyed Marcus Peters. You know what I mean? Just looking at how the Amari Cooper thing went over or whatnot, but that's water under the bridge. That was umpteen years ago. You know what I mean? We've moved on. All eyes on G.com. Is your boy Amik on the hot seat now, Dirty? No, he's not.
I don't think so, Doc. There's so many other corners who I think are.
It's the rookies that are on the hot seat right now.
Or maybe even the second year guys like Webb, Sam Webb and Hall. What's his name? Those guys I think are the ones that are on the hot seat.
Those are the ones that are actually on the hot seat. Everybody's talked very highly about what they could do, but I'm only speaking on what they did do.
Yeah, Amik is the most
fails in comparison to what Amik did. See, I get that Amik is small in stature, and I understand that. But it's not always about the size of the guy. You know what I mean? It doesn't take, and pause, because I know some people gonna run with that in a certain different way. Hey, cool, whatever. But when it comes to just the will, the want, the will in a person is a whole lot bigger than the size of a person sometimes. You know what I mean? J-Dub, I'm fine with that, but I don't think that's what the move is for. Moving him to safety, I don't think that's what the move is about. I really think this move of bringing him in has got something else. It's got a lot to do with the rookie corners, DBs that they brought in that they feel like just aren't there.
I think.
You know what I mean?
Sure. There's a lot of corners, bro. When you go up and down that list, there's a lot of corners out there, and to be honest, I don't think Amik is the one that's on that hot seat, bro. I think there's a lot of other dudes. I mean, to be honest, he's gonna have some. There obviously some heat because there's gonna be a lot of competition, and anything can happen in camp. You know what I mean? It all depends on how guys are motivated. Going into camp, and how much they've been working on it on their game this off season. The reason why I think Amik, I don't think me personally, I respect if you do feel different, but I just feel like people in the chat, I just feel like he's been getting better every year. You know what I mean? Regardless, he's struggled. He has struggled early in his career too, but last year he was one of our most, I mean, our whole DBs as a whole weren't that good, but the only really actual bright spot was him. You know what I mean? He had he led, I think, the secondary in turnovers and shit like that. So it's like
he was he was our most improved player on defense last year.
Exactly.
He's our most improved player.
If he comes into camp, especially with that type of mindset, and just keeps getting better, there's other guys who have more to prove, I think.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at Amik and some of the videos that have been released, I don't know if y'all get to see all of the stuff that comes out. You know what I mean? Or really pay attention to it, like dive into it, rewind it, look again, listen again. I don't know if y'all do that. I'm not questioning if you do or if you don't. Some people just they do, some people don't. But for me, I'm one of those people like what did he say? And I'll rewind it like 6-7 times just to figure out what the hell was said. Like, what? Hold on, wait a minute. I gotta hear that again. Like, gotta hear that again. Gotta hear that again.
It was Harmon, J-Dub.
Oh
no, you're just asking who was the safety last year. Or
starting Harmon is gone. You know what I mean? We brought in
Epps
for that. We brought Epps in for that. You know?
And Jaquan Johnson. Jaquan Johnson, I think, is somebody that's going to be. He's not getting looked at too much, but I think he's going. I don't know, man. I think that dude's. Every time I've seen him, he's been pretty, pretty solid player.
Yeah, no. I feel like it's our rookie corners or our second year players that might not be on pace to actually make the team. It might be some of our UDFAs. I mean, who knows? I doubt it's the UDFAs. We didn't bring in that many defensive.
There's still Teamer on the fucking still on the fucking on the roster.
Amik, if Amik has to play slot, he'd be either ahead of Hobbs or behind Hobbs. That's all depending on how our outside corners play.
But even now, like with the amount of sets that are like in 4 receivers sets nowadays is like so common that like you're gonna need 2 slot corners anyway. You know what I mean? Most of the time you're gonna have 2 slot corners out there anyway with your other corners. So it's like it's you're gonna need both, bro. You're like and what I like about this pickup is that it's gonna allow for that to happen for Amik and Hobbs to actually either rotate at that when they're playing 3 wide receiver sets, rotate at that slot position, or both of them in at those type of slot positions along with Duke Shelley. You know what I mean? And those type of guys like with Marcus Peters, and then you got there's a ton of other guys you can start on the other side. You know what I mean? It all depends on who I think shows up, but I think Hobbs can make a difference. I mean, the thing is that like I have a feeling that this coaching staff wants Hobbs to fucking be on the outside.
Yeah, I think they want Hobbs on the outside as well. But Raider Paul, you said that last year. Everybody said that last year that Amik was the one who was gone, and Amik is the one who played beyond what anybody else besides me thought he was going to play.
It's like he's like that little engine that just keeps going, though.
I'm telling you, I see the dog in this man, bro. I see it, bro. I see it. I love it.
And I want to see
more of it, bro.
The growth, and I'm not talking about size because I wish that he could, he would have been able to, grow a couple fucking, of like 5'10" or something. But the
Kevin Hart said they got a new surgery out, bro, where they take the fat back out. You know what I mean? They take the fat out your back, bro, and they insert it in your knee, bro. They insert it in your knee.
No, but what I mean is like that his improvements every year have been good, bro. Like that, and if there's so many opportunities, I think there's been so many opportunities to actually for that to happen, and it hasn't. So like, what's to say that that's gonna happen now when he was the most improved, I think, defensive player last year, on our squad. So it's like that's why, like, if there was ever gonna be, I think, a spot where they were gonna get rid of him, it would have been last year's training camp or something like that. But I think with the year that he had last year, I mean, it wasn't nothing stellar or anything like that. But I think it's enough for a roster spot.
Everybody. Hey, Paul, I get it. People say Meek's too small. I get it. But he doesn't play like his size, bro. That's the thing about it. He plays like he's 5'11", 6 foot. That's how he plays. He doesn't play small. He doesn't play like he's at a disadvantage, bro. He plays like he's the same size as everybody else out there. And he plays harder than what we got. You know, he played harder than any defensive back we had last year, man. Let's just be honest about that. And you got the same backs here this year. You think anything's really going to be different? You think he's going to be like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and let them overtake me? Nah. If they couldn't rise to the challenge last year when he was balling out, a lot of people get burnt. And it's not every time, Ray Love. It's not, you can't say it's every time. He doesn't get burnt every time. He gets burnt, but what corner in the NFL doesn't? Everybody in the NFL gets burnt. But he has makeup speed. He has a lot of breakups in the secondary as well. And then, like I said, only one to have two interceptions last year, and a touchdown on a fumble recovery. I mean, you just don't get rid of those. You don't get rid of that. Now, if he goes into camp and all these other dudes, they outplay him, they outball him, they outdo all of that, then hey, let the chips fall as they may. But if he balls out and he's better than them, why wouldn't you keep him? He's better than what you're talking about keeping.
Yep.
But see, when you add a Marcus Peters to the situation, or as some people like to say, situation, you know what I mean? When you add a Marcus Peters to the situation, which is situation, if you want to speak proper English, it changes the picture. It changes the whole demographic of what it is you're looking at now. You know he's not going to get cut. You know what I mean? You know he's not getting cut. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a special guest backstage that I want to go ahead and bring out real quick before we continue on. I know y'all hate when I stop in the middle because sometimes I forget what I was talking about. But somebody put in the chat where I left off, and we will pick up from there. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman right here is a great guy, man. Really, really, really great fucking guy, bro. Always reaches out, always with well wishes, always with a kind word, always with a prayer. That's why we made him the chaplain of NWA. New channel is slowly but surely on its way. He's been hitting you on IG telling y'all, hey, it's coming. New show, new host. Please welcome to the stage the inventor, the CEO of Brown Crackers, the host of Yes Sir Outdoors. And I don't know what the new name of his show is, but I know he has a Raider show, and he'll let you know what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the one, the only, the incompetent, Mr. Raider Twan. What's up, Twan?
Hey, what's good? What's good? Blessings to everybody, man. I'm so excited to see your face, brother, on a live. I know you've been doing your thing, but it's just good to see you on YouTube, man.
Yeah, everything in life comes first. You know what I mean? Everything in your personal life comes first. How you doing, man?
Man, I can't complain. I'm just continuing and staying busy, man. I'm excited, man.
You back at home? What's going on?
I am at the Ahern. What happened was I went out there. They said everything was good when they opened up the person, and then they actually really looked at the organs. The doctor didn't feel comfortable with giving them to me because of the quality. So they said, go back home and we'll do it all over again. And that's, you know, as and I'm saying that jokingly and kind of funnily, but like, you know, when I it was rougher than what I'm saying, but I'm kind of at a point where I can talk about it and whatever. But yeah, that's what happened. They didn't feel comfortable with giving me what they were going to give me, and I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that too, because
you don't want something that's gonna have to, like they're gonna have to go back in
what
again.
you already got, and it, bodies don't
your body rejects
everything. You know what I mean? So rejection could kill you, and you have a chance of living longer with what you got. Versus, hey man, take the chance of living longer with what you got.
Hey, it's similar, but it's not similar to when you take your car to the mechanic and he says it's fixed, and you drive off. And you go and you realize that it ain't fixed, and you go back to it. Well, in my situation, if they say I'm fixed and I take off, it might be worse than that. So
I'm going through that. I'm going through that with my AC in my car right now. I can't find the problem.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more guest this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I know he's got something to say about this subject. I don't know which way he's going to go, but you know what? All I can say is whatever it is, it's up for review. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage my brother, my friend, this my homeboy for real. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, if you think I'm playing, I'm being dead serious. This is another one of my homeboy for real. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Up for Review, soon to be coming. I've seen what the issues are. We're getting them fixed. But from LA to AZ, my motherfucking homeboy, Mr. JT. What's up, JT?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing, man? I'm doing. I'm trying to stay cool right now, but I might turn my fan back on because it's like 105 right now. But I'm being nice to y'all for y'all ears. I got the AC on, but yeah.
Hey, when the AC ain't enough, bro, you know it's hot.
Hey, I just was out there, so I know exactly what you're talking about, man.
I just don't want my AC on because it's been making me sneeze all fucking day. Like I've been inside AC at the work, fucking like 4 different places, so I just been sneezing because of it.
With the heat wave y'all got, everybody should be able to work from home.
I like working. I like getting out the house.
Yeah, I can't stand 122.
Oh, okay. Maybe when it hits 122, yeah, you might be right.
Like, I'm gonna go ahead and clock in from the house, man. But you load boxes in the truck. Look, it's 122 out there, man. I'm not coming to work. But thank both of you guys for pulling up, man. We appreciate it. Me and Gabe were just sitting here talking about our defensive back room. What could possibly be the upside of having a Marcus Peters, as well as maybe there might be a downside to having a Marcus.
And then also a Meek, like why so many people think of Meek's on the hot seat rather than other people on this staff, you know what I mean? Yeah. In that cornerback room, like I would think some other people, you know what I mean?
The same reason they wanted Derek Carr gone is the same issues they're gonna have with a Meek this year. There's someone that he's not a fan favorite.
Yeah, like I like the way I like his I'll be the first one to say I hated on him last year, but I seen him improve to the point to where and then you actually take a whole look at his career as kind of like a whole. It hasn't been that much, but every year he's gotten incrementally better, dog. So I just feel like if anything, there's with the performance that he had last year, I think other guys that are just gonna be in this system and are gonna see if they even fit, or those are the guys that are gonna be more looked at to see if they're gonna get cut or not.
And Gabe, I agree with you. I think what you were saying earlier too about the competition of the cornerback room with Marcus Peters now being aboard, but specifically about Amik, and you guys can go back to the receipts as hard as Dirty was going for putting Amik, really going for Amik. I said at least Amik needs to be the last corner, on our roster. He needs to be the fifth or sixth corner, in our, at least that in our depth chart. I thought he was that good at that point. But I don't think this organization can get away from Amik, because every time even us trying to look at Amik and trying to, nitpick Amik, every time he gets out there, he produces. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden he there's an interception, or all of a sudden there's a fumble recovery and his name is coming up, or you know what I'm saying? He's always around the ball. So you need guys like that. So it would be stupid for them to you know what I'm saying, to get rid of a player like that's putting in the work and doing his job, no matter how, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like that person you want to get rid of, but you can't get rid of because they're just doing their job. Well, that's a Meek. You know what I'm saying?
And we carried 5 cornerbacks last year, so there's a plethora of them that we have. It's just that I think he would be one of the guys that would like make that 5 if they stay at 5.
And I also like, again, I'll say this now. I like the Marcus Peters pick because, to be honest with you, when it comes to, you know, competition, I think Nate Hobbs before Marcus Peters came in was feeling real comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Now there's competition there. Marcus Peters is coming in and saying, "Hey, I'm coming for the number 1 spot. Beat me." You know what I'm saying? And that just breeds even more competition for Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs, you know, knowing Nate Hobbs, he thought, you know, before Marcus Peters came in, he probably was like, "Yeah, me and Shelly will be on each side and we good." But
well, you know,
that may not be the case.
There was a question brought up earlier, you know, of the possibility of Marcus Peters playing safety. And, you know, I was quick to shoot that down. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it for a second.
He could.
You know what I mean? I'm having to rethink that for a second. And I'm thinking it could work. That could work. They could be bringing him in to play alongside Epps. Could Marcus Peters be a better safety at his age than Merrick?
No.
You know what I mean? I know. I'm just saying. It's a question. It's just a question. It's just a question. I hear the Stephen A. and you about ready to just jump off. Let me finish the statement.
No, I was just answering the question. I'm not about to jump off.
Okay.
No.
So I'm thinking that there is a strong possibility that he could be coming in. You know, they like to run a 3 safety set sometimes. You know what I mean? It's not, I wouldn't put it beyond them or past them, however you want to say it. I wouldn't put it beyond them to bring a Marcus Peters in on a 3 safety set. Do I expect Marcus Peters to start every down throughout the whole season? No, I don't. On a 1 year, $5 million deal, no, I don't expect you to be an every down corner. That's not what I'm expecting from you. I'm expecting for you to be the corner, the go-to corner on 3rd and 12. You know what I mean? That shutdown guy who can still shut down for a couple of plays every now and then, here and there. You know what I mean? Sparingly, not every single play.
When you said shut down,
I didn't say shut down every single play.
Yeah, even on 3rd down, as like a 3rd down specialist, you think he can come in and shut down receivers
I think he can come shut a receiver down for 1 play. Yeah, I do. I think he has it in him to where he can still come out here and shut a receiver down for at least 2 plays.
Wasn't that the reason why he's on the market now? Because he can't cover?
Huh?
That was the reason why he was on the market now, because he couldn't cover.
Yeah, he can't cover every down.
Yeah, he only signed with us because he gave us a hometown discount.
Hey, whatever it was, for whatever reason, he signed with us. He signed with us, right?
He says it says it's a hometown discount, but there wasn't anybody interested, and it's his hometown team that he used to watch growing up. So it's literally like the Marshawn Lynch on the defensive end.
Hey, look, and Marshawn Lynch came in his first year in ball.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Marshawn Lynch still had legs. Marshawn Lynch still had a
That's
reason.
What I'm trying to get to, though. I feel like Marcus Peters, though, like it did take all last year, though, to get kind of like, you know, his legs under him, because it wasn't Achilles tear, you know what I mean? So I feel like.
But he had an Achilles tear?
Yeah.
Oh, we just like getting it.
That was in 2021. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah. So what I mean, like I think it took like him, you know, to get his feet under him still again, and I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, they like this. it was an impressive supposedly workout and all that shit. But I mean, that means nothing. You know what I mean? But like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I think he has something to prove. I just guys like that. I just feel like, you know, on a 1 year deal, I just feel like this can't lose much because it's a team friendly deal. You know what I mean? Like he has something to prove. You know, it's his hometown team, so you know maybe he does play out. You know, sometimes play guys have that 1 year left. You know what I mean? And that hopefully that's what he has left, dog.
I mean, it could be that situation of low risk, high reward. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how they deploy him. You know what I'm saying? Dirty was just saying about using him as a safety, and he said that, and I was just thinking, I was like, yeah, that I'm not saying as a full-time safety, but you know what I'm saying, there might be a certain way that they could disguise him, you know what I'm saying, and you know, have him play safety for a down or whatever situation. And if that
ain't
works,
no disguise to know Marcus Peters, bro. If he's out there, he's either corner or safety.
no, I'm just saying, like,
you know where he's not no linebacker.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, in the disguising of is he actually being the corner, or is he actually in the box, or what is he doing? You know what I'm saying? They may not necessarily know what his role is, especially if they're doing zone. You know what I'm saying? They don't know, you know, where he's going to be or whatever. So there's a lot of things, you know, in imaginary ways that can be done, but I mean, it's still a wait and see. But I just feel like, personally, I feel like it's competition for some of the top corners we think are going to be, you know what I'm saying, on this roster. I think, again, Nate Hobbs can't there's no sleep for Nate Hobbs right now. You know what I'm saying? Because there is another body in
Man, he's not a threat to Nate Hobbs. He's not. Nate Hobbs is the starter day one. If he's not, we're having the worst defense in the league. Point blank, period.
That though.
Any position in that, if Nate Hobbs is not starting in the secondary, we've regressed overall. Now, overall, when I first saw it, I'm like, Raiders doing Raider shit. Okay, like, I'm not here to, like, I know motherfuckers think I'm just gonna be negative. I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm gonna sound negative with y'all because y'all have so much optimism. I personally don't like it, but I kind of do like it because we finally have a leader on defense, a vocal leader on defense. That's why I like it.
I'm listening.
And honestly, he's someone who is willing to give his knowledge. Like a lot of other people I didn't know who are willing to teach. He's actually willing to teach. Now, how everyone else is going to receive his teaching, I don't know how that's going to go. That's on him. That's on the players. But we have a legitimate leader for defense finally. I know people going to say, well, Max ain't a legitimate leader, bro. He balls. He knows how to play. But he doesn't know how to rally up his troops. Marcus Peters knows how to rally up troops. He can get guys to play up. So
you don't think that Marcus Peters is going to challenge for the number one spot?
He's going. That's just his character. He's going to. Do I think he actually can? No. I don't think he's better than the guys that we have right there. He's also behind. He's also going to be behind on the playbook.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Raiders think he's challenging for the number one spot. I don't think he thinks he's challenging truthfully for the number one spot. It's a 1 year, $5 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even his market value. So
I'm saying if we're
with the same expectations, he's in the understanding that, hey, I'm here, I'm gonna play. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do what I need to do. You know what I mean? If I got to be the rah-rah shish boom bah guy for $5 million and play my position where I need to be in and play, fine. Fuck it. I'll do it. You know what I mean?
I get all that, but I just personally feel like, you know what I'm saying, no matter what the dollar amount is, they want him to come in here and compete. So if he's going to compete, he's going to compete for that number one spot. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he's going to get there, but I'm just saying he's going to challenge that. And then
any player that's given a deal is expected to challenge for anything. I mean, I'm not giving you money just to be giving you money. I expect you to come in here and give me everything you got. I don't give a fuck how much money it is. I expect you to give me everything you got.
He's a role player.
Paying you.
He's a role player. He's a role player at the age he is. If he,
I still need you to give me everything you got. It's what I'm paying for.
no, mentally, I don't want you. I'll be honest with you. If he's on the field, it's a problem.
Emotionally, nigga,
Yeah.
I need it all.
Yeah, I need you to put that dog in these guys that have the
Exactly.
capabilities of having it. I need you to start causing fights. That's what he's there for.
No, I don't need the fights.
No, I need fight. No. I need fights. We need fights. Fights.
You think?
Yes. That's much needed. And like we have no motivation coming from these sorry ass coaches. They're not being motivated by the coaches. So you have to bring players who need to know how to motivate.
I wouldn't mind the fighter too. I wouldn't mind the fighter too.
Because that lets me show that they're actually they're willing to play. They're not just showing up for a check.
That shows me that they're competing.
Yeah, I mean, shit. They demotivated Derek Carr. Even Josh Jacobs was almost demotivated in a contract year.
I mean, I guess I could see that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like you have guys who got out of their own character with this coaching staff. They don't know how to motivate. So you have to bring in guys who know how to motivate as players, guys who will actually hold player meetings, hold coaches accountable. Now this I don't see him meshing well with Josh McDaniel's style of coaching. But for the players that we have, and we're a young team that got younger. Derek Carr was a senior statesman on the team. He's gone. That team got younger.
Yep. But that's the way the NFL is nowadays.
You don't win like that. No, it's not. You don't win like that. You don't. You don't win like that.
G ain't that young.
Hey.
At your key positions, you no, unless you have a once in a lifetime type of guy at one or two positions, yes, Gay. Overall, it is not like that.
All the time. Those are the guys that winning all the time. But like, look at the Bengals. They're young. The Chiefs are young. You know what I mean? All those teams that are good. The Eagles are young. You know what I mean? They're all those.
And the only reason the Bengals got to the Super Bowl is because we made mistakes. They were young and they did young stupid things.
I understand that. I'm just saying, like the it's more common now, a lot more common now for a fucking young teams to come up a lot faster. Like some of these rookies are coming in, Pro Bowlers from day one. You know what I mean? Like
they're individual.
I mean,
I'll give you that. Yeah, individually, yeah, that's individual stuff. That's for them to get a paycheck. We're talking about winning, though. I'm not trying to see a motherfucker go to Pro Bowl. No, I'm trying to go to the Super Bowl. Fuck them Pro Bowls. I don't even watch that shit. I ain't watched that shit in like 10 years. I could care less about a Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just talking about overall though. Like even like there was just I think a stat last year. Like the oldest quarterback was I think in the AFC Championship was 25. You know what I mean? And all those teams were like a young core team. You know what I mean? All the teams.
Okay. Eagles have veteran leadership on the offensive line. They have veteran leadership on defense.
Sure, you have to have that as a spot.
The teams that can win have veterans, veteran leaders.
No matter what. But I'm saying like it's more common though now like that. There's a lot of players coming into the league, ready to play and that like make a sudden impact to where a lot of young teams are making impacts like that to where they make splashes out of nowhere, like like a Tyree Wilson. I know they're gonna try to bring him along slow, but just like those type of guys. And I also like that they brought in guys who come in from like well coached organizations, like like a Spillane, who's coming in from Pittsburgh. He's a well coached guy who's gonna be playing like a middle linebacker spot, which he's not going to be by default because what's his name is going to be wearing the green dot, but he also, I think, is going to hold guys accountable because he knows how it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, places with track record. And the guys we draft, I mean, let's be honest, I don't think we drafted too many guys with coaching staffs that had track records in college. Wilson, he came from where? Texas Tech. They're horrible.
Well,
their coaching staff is horrible. He ain't coached up. I mean, we had one. But like our key guys don't come from places from what you're describing. And then on
And we got
top of that, they go to organizations that are good organizations. We're not a good organization.
I mean, but you have to start somewhere, though. You gotta start somewhere, and that shit's
I
like I just
agree.
the tide is moving. The tide is moving towards that way because they're not budging on on contracts. Contracts are gonna open up next year to where this team is gonna be free to spend, and I just think that they already have pieces and places to where you're starting foundation, and I just think it's just getting better with I just think it was a overall good draft. You know what I mean? It's still to be seen, like on the field, of course. But I just feel like that we're heading in the right direction, bro. I just feel like all those bad contracts, especially going off the that 30 million, that extra 30 million we could have used this offseason. You know what I mean? That would have been no discussion about a Josh Jacobs. They could have actually went out for a more even went out for a fucking a fucking Aaron Rodgers 1 year deal type shit. You know what I mean? But it's just I get a better quarterback. I'm just saying like
Hmm.
those type of shits, hold organizations back, and I just think we're moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. And you know what also holds organizations back? You don't keep your homegrown talent.
I think, but
You don't keep the guys that you've been
I
raising.
agree.
Yeah, and we don't do that. So to sit here and say we're changing something, no, we're not.
I mean, it's the only thing is right now is Jacobs. He's the only guy that's still the question mark, which I still think he's going to be a Raider this year. So at that point, like I still think we're keeping our homegrown talent. We still got Cohen Miller. We still got Max Crosby. You know what I mean? We still. I mean, if we keep JJ, we'll still have him. Now we got hopefully we got Adams on board still for
Hmm.
we took care of Renfro already. So it's like those are all homegrown guys. So it's like
If they haven't told you, Renfro's on on the training block and they're actually negotiating with a team right
I'm
now.
just. I mean,
They're actually
I
on the
wouldn't
phone
mind
with the
it.
team who's willing to. But
To be
yeah.
honest, I wouldn't mind that shit just because I know that if it's maybe what I'm thinking about, like for a defensive guy or something like that, then I ain't I'm not gonna knock it, but it's just like I just think there's a
Hmm.
there's a movement. I think that we're moving in the right direction, though.
Yeah, word on the street, Renfro lost his position. He's no longer the starter at slot. That's the
I,
word
I
on the street.
I just hope that I hope they just get value. You know what I'm saying?
It'll be the first time they've done it as a coaching staff for us.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say is that the stuff that we've seen, their track record with us so far has not been well with getting, value for the guys that we have. So I hopefully that turns around.
Yeah, but we'll see, man. Like I said, I have optimism. Well, you guys have the optimism for me. Don't like I was having a great summer until I started looking into doing content because Dirty he didn't get on my ass, but he just kept reminding me. So I actually started reaching out to folks, talking to some of these trainers, seeing who's been in camp, seeing who's not been in camp, seeing what guys have been working on. I don't know, man.
I do like
Just
the news of Jimmy G at least though too. That shit at least he passed the fucking physical. Didn't keep us in suspense.
yeah,
Now it's
there's
stay healthy.
um,
I
I'm not gonna say nothing.
I hate I hate to say it, but sometimes them physicals are very. I'll say it's very fluid. You know what I'm saying? They'll pass you when they want to pass you, and they don't pass you when they don't want to pass you. You know what I'm saying?
He passed the minimum requirement for what they're looking at. He still needs work. He's not 100. He's not even like he's barely practice ready. Like he will be in if he was able to, he couldn't go in no contact. He would have to be no contact. You know what I'm saying? If games were in 2 weeks, he wouldn't be playing. Just put it that way.
He for me,
He hasn't put
he
any
got
weight on the foot yet. He hasn't put really weight like too much weight on the foot yet, like with cutting and everything like that. Hell no. He ain't gonna be ready in 2 weeks. Fuck no.
Hey, for me,
So
he
that
got
means he's not throwing, Gabe. That means he's not throwing.
for me
Not
he
yet.
got
But
he got
soon it's gonna
to
come
week
along.
one.
But this is the same shit they did with Derek Carr, and why he was off.
Well, veterans
Now,
are supposed to report tomorrow. We're gonna see tomorrow. See if he's
yeah,
in uniform or anything.
yeah, but he's literally doing the same shit. Like DC ain't
No, I
gonna
want
get
to see
no
if he's
kind of
out there
rep.
throwing.
DC got
I
no
want to.
reps. That means Jimmy's gonna get no reps. I mean, they're banking that Jimmy really remembered everything. They're
Yeah,
banking
no, I
on
just want
that.
to see. I just want to see if tomorrow, if he's actually, just out there,
Yeah,
just slinging the
he'll
ball
be in
around.
a he's gonna be in a building. He's gonna be doing all the interviews. He's gonna be saying all the right things. I could care less about all that. I could care less about all this media bullshit because
I want to see if he throws.
he ain't throwing shit.
I want to see when he throws. That's gonna be the important thing. I want to see how that looks like. What in practice or on
On
those drop steps. I mean, I want to see when he starts putting fucking weight on that foot.
on camera, you probably won't see it for another month. On camera. Now,
Another month.
will he be doing sit downs and arm workouts and things like that? He'll be doing that. He knows. I don't even know if he's in shape. To be honest with you, he's not even like in any kind of shape.
That fool's
But
fucking stays. Dog. He's porn star ready, dog. He's in shape.
oh man, we need to start with that narrative, man. He ain't that much of a bad boy. He dated one girl, man.
Bro, you seen how the brothels and all that shit were in Vegas as soon as he got there, so it's like you don't think he's getting more now?
I mean, but that's Vegas, bro. It's always been there. It's not nothing new.
Exactly, that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
he was doing that. He was doing that any city. Like any NFL player is gonna be doing that. It's just Vegas is gonna be magnified because
I
it's
just like
Vegas,
that.
and it's
I
gonna
just
be
like that
easier
he rode
access.
with it. I just like that he rode with it. He don't give a fuck. Like there's other fools who were like,
Look, man, just don't be getting them. Look, just don't be getting the ratchets that Zion Williams is getting, man.
oh no,
That's all I care about. Don't be getting girls who going to distract you and be
I
talking all
think
that.
Jimmy probably has them sign NDAs and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He ain't fucking Zion. Zion's fucking
Man,
dumb.
NDAs ain't even working no more now, and these girls are still talking.
But hey, but I'm giving him the week one. If he ain't out there week one and he ain't spinning that ball, yeah,
Bro,
it's gonna be a problem.
I'm gonna be honest. If I don't see him in preseason games, I'm like, what are we doing? He
He
needs to
ain't
be.
gonna be in preseason.
So
We already know
what's
that.
I
then?
think he'll maybe play in like
I
week
can't
three
say
of
you
pre.
won't see him in preseason.
Yeah,
Can't say you won't
I
see him
No, I
in
hope
think
he
we have
learned.
to see him
I
in
pray
preseason.
he learned from what he did with Derek, man. He clearly sees his quarterback is going to need reps in his offense.
It may
It's
not be in the first like 2 games,
yeah, at
but
least the fourth,
that
man.
last game, at least a
Third,
quarter of that
the
last
third.
game.
I think the third game because that's supposedly when most starters get the most playing
So
time.
Yeah, that
so
third game he should be playing a little bit, and then that fourth game he should play about like a series or a series,
And that's
Mhm.
it. Yeah.
and then that's
Yeah.
it.
that's wishful thinking for someone that just came off an injury. They're gonna be trying to
Bro,
baby that person to make sure they
But
get
he's clear.
ready for week one.
He's not only clear for week one, he's clear for training camp. So
supposedly.
supposedly, I mean, well, hey,
We're gonna
look,
see. Hey,
we gotta go with what we
that's why I
gotta go
like
with what
that.
we
We're
know
here,
until
dog.
we see
We're
what we
here.
see, right?
And
We're here, dog. That's it.
I,
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Football's
I,
right around the corner, dog.
you
Still,
gotta you
still out
gotta earn
here.
my respect and earn what you
So I
say,
see
man.
Hunter
That's
Renfro
fair. That's
gone.
fair.
Hunter Renfro still here.
I
So I see
mean,
he's gone.
That's fair though. You're like, hey, but I mean, to some people, I mean, he does have to understand. I mean, I just have a feeling that, the fucking the system that he was playing under too. That system gets quarterbacks killed, dog. You know what I mean? It's like
who?
so. It's the Shanahan
Niners.
system. You know what
What
I mean? The
system?
Niners.
What do you
The
mean
Niners.
handoff? He just hands the ball off and goes West Coast.
Or
They don't
nah, they
quarterbacks killed.
try to run RPOs to where they're holding that
Huh?
mesh point sometimes too long, to where they're
Hey, look.
they're they're
What are
getting
you
the
talking about with
quarterback.
Trey? Yeah, with the Trey Lance one was, but that's not what they
Exactly,
ran.
that's
But that's not what they were running with Jimmy.
Hey, look.
because
That's not.
if you
Say
even
this,
see the
man.
play that though
And
that he got hurt in, the play
I
that
don't
he
too
got
much
hurt in
ride
was
the
fucking free.
coattails. I don't
No, I'm watching a lot of football now.
of the Chiefs, but if motherfucking Patrick Mahomes can play in the goddamn preseason, why can't our quarterback? You ain't no better.
Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Ben
Everybody.
Roethlisberger, all the greats can do it. Yep.
Last year.
Ask the
And,
coach.
and they got into an argument over that, him not getting reps. And again, everything we're talking about is like we're hoping everything goes well and goes perfect during the season with him meshing with players, him not standing on players' toes. Like all that matters. Like everything has to go perfect just to get the game won. You don't think guys are going to be arguing? Guys ain't going to get tired? Somebody ain't going to snap in the preseason? You signed Marcus Peters. I already know there's going to be at least 2 fights and people snapping, and someone's going to say, fuck. Yeah, but this is the thing. There's going to be a fuck you that's said to a Josh McDaniels or a coaching staff. How is he going to react to that?
Eat it.
He doesn't but he doesn't do well with disrespect.
We're gonna see,
and he doesn't command the respect that Bill Belichick has. Where players will look and they'll think before saying something. They ain't gonna think before saying anything to that man, motherfucker. You even play? Who the fuck are you? Nigga, fuck you. And then he gonna say, "Get off my field," or send him to the locker room. And then all of a sudden, what if Devontae says that? Right? But you don't send him to the locker room. But you send 3 other players to the locker room. You done lost your locker room now.
Nah, but that we're playing in a lot of hypotheticals. Though that's just like we're gonna be. I think it's gonna be different. Dog. It's just gonna be. It's different. They've gotten the guys that they've wanted to get in here. They've gotten more guys that are coachable. More guys that they went out and drafted. You know what I mean? So I just think there's a lot of young guys who you know what I mean, and then guys that are on here who have obviously took it last year and haven't really spoken out.
Gotcha. I got you. So I'm gonna ask you this then. So I'm gonna use what y'all was saying. Since Marcus Peters is coming here to try and win a spot, who do you think he's gonna guard majority of the time to show that he can play in this game?
Devontae.
And what's gonna happen if Devontae starts smoking his ass and getting in his ass? He's gonna want to fight. He's gonna want to fight. He's that type of. And Marshawn Lynch ain't on the sidelines no more to break it up.
Side, that's what I like. That type of football. That's what football's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. But we ain't got the players that play like that. And so here's the thing: we ain't got the coaches.
But if he tries to do that shit with DA,
okay,
ain't down.
I'm gonna finish. Let me finish first. But this is the thing: when it flip the side of the, what's the new
flip side of the coin? Oh, okay.
So look,
ain't backing down.
Here's the flip side of the coin on that, right? What if he comes out there and he holds his own? I'm not saying that he's still a star caliber corner. What if he goes out there and he can still do it? You know what I mean? Then what?
That's on the coach. To be honest, the coaches are going to have to make a very hard decision. You got him. Because this was going to happen. You got him on a 1-year deal. He proved himself. Now you got to give me the money. Now you got to sign me to a long-term contract. Now you got to tell the guy that you promised is going to be the starter, hey, you done lost your spot. And that's been the MO with them is they say promises to guys, and then they break their promises and get you the fuck up out of here. They use you to get what they want, and they get you out of here. You think guys are going to want to come here to sign for that shit?
I haven't seen.
So if he plays up, you don't fuck yourself because it's broken promises. You got to be a man of your word and honor your word in this game. If not, motherfucker, I'm just there for a paycheck and I'm gonna be hurt every week. I ain't feeling it, coach. And I'm gonna collect that paycheck.
You think those reps are gonna help him out too? Those reps are gonna get him ready for the season, dog. Like he's gonna have that competition on the other side of him. He's gonna see every single route that in camp that by the time the season starts, it's just gonna be like he ain't going. Is nobody else better that's gonna line up in front of him?
Yeah, but then you also gonna have an issue. What if the young boy, is dropping dimes at quarterback, and he plays up? You gonna sit Jimmy G and play the rookie?
Nah, I don't think so.
What if Devontae wants him though?
Nah, I just think that's just they've gone to too many hoops for Jimmy that like I just feel like they're gonna even if that dude that does outplay him, in this preseason or whatever. I just feel like they're gonna. It's like that's almost kind of be like kind of force fed type shit. Like McDaniels wants to see what he wanted to see in New England for some years. You know what I mean? When they were trying to get rid of kind of Tom. That first time. When they did choose him in the draft. So I just feel like he wants to see what he can do still with that.
Man, this fool is giving every New England Patriot who played for him a victory tour and getting them paid. Every New England player who came here was
Well,
Josh McDaniels guy who's finally getting a contract.
Whoa. If it's a victory tour, that means it's got to bring some victories with it, don't it?
I know of getting guys paid. No. Hold on. No. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying they're getting a victory tour to finally getting paid because they weren't getting paid in New England. He's getting them paid.
Nah.
All right.
When you say victory tour, bro, I need some wins to be involved in that, bro.
They won for him in New England, but they weren't getting paid in New England.
Victories.
Yeah.
You called it a victory tour. Yeah, they're winning in the bank. Now I need some wins on the field.
Oh, I agree.
That's another reason why
those are going to translate in the red zone this year. Those are going to translate with what I'm thinking, second year system, because that was the problem with the struggling of even when Carr was there, bro. Like it was unfair to Carr. You know what I mean? Like when he was here, that they had to be changing systems every fucking year. You know what I mean? And finally, when he was getting comfortable under certain things, they fucking would sweep the fucking rug out, under him again. You know what I mean? And guys, when they have to keep repeating, keep learning new systems, we have to go to Paul Gunther to Gus Bradley to fucking now Patrick Graham. You know what I mean? It's like that it just takes the learning again. Getting the hand of the playbook. So I think this year guys are gonna play better in second year systems for sure. And I think it's gonna translate especially when in the red zone, bro. That's the number one area where I think that hurt us a lot last year when we were trading 3 for 7.
Jimmy wasn't a better red zone player than Derek Carr, so now we still have the same issues. He was not a better red zone quarterback than Derek Carr.
Do you know Derek Carr, since he's came in the league, he's dead last with the 33 rating in the red zone, and Jimmy G is the 4th best since he's came into the league?
Yeah, and the majority of the time they run the ball in on the end zone for teams he's on.
No, I'm talking about rating. Doesn't throw. Pass the rating.
He's not passing the ball, Gabe. He's not passing the ball.
With the amount, whatever amount.
So you can't give him credit for things he's not doing. That's what I'm saying. We can't give him credit for things he's not doing.
There is credit because there's stats that prove that he has done it in the red zone. There is that he has passing touch. He has, I think it's like a 4-to-1 ratio between touchdown passes to interceptions or turnovers in the red zone.
I know he doesn't do it in the playoffs. He doesn't. It does not translate. It doesn't happen in the playoffs.
I'm talking. Well, none of it. Well, Carr doesn't either because he's never even won in the playoffs. He's never even basically played one playoff game. What I'm trying to say is that red zone is.
I think Carr has many touchdowns as him in the playoffs. So that's crazy.
It's night and day when it comes to the red zone between those two players. It's night and day.
If you look at stats.
Dead last. Carr is dead last.
Mm-hmm.
And by a lot. I'm not trying to fucking bash on him or anything like that. By a lot. Like when I seen that fucking stat, I was like even surprised by how much.
And what I also see translate that doesn't show up on your stat book. He knows how to play from behind. Jimmy G doesn't.
I'm talking about
one guy knows how to win from behind, the other one doesn't. You say in the red zone, okay. Let's be honest. We're playing from behind majority of the time. We're playing from behind majority of the time. We do not. We're going to play from behind. We have a court
because he has a winning record. Carr doesn't. We can't argue about this.
What do you mean? Okay, I got you. So you want to say he has a winning record? Does he have the same tools when he was winning with?
It doesn't matter. He has.
That does matter. That does matter when you have a number one defense and you have a team that hasn't been hasn't passed 20.
W's and L's. That's the only thing that matters in that sense. The only thing that matters in that sense is W's and L's. I'm sorry to say, but that's just the only thing that matters. because that's what players get judged on. That's just the truth in the facts, bro. It's just that's what players get judged on, W's and L's. You know what I mean? And by some, whatever, like however Jimmy G got to there, he has a winning record and just he's all time best in the red zone. So it's like the facts are there, bro. It's like you could argue. You can argue like what you think about the player or not, but you can't argue numbers, facts, numbers.
You want to argue numbers? So he won it. He won a game and put up 30 points by throwing 8 passes.
Men lie, women lie, but numbers never lie.
Okay, I can show you. I can show you how numbers lie. When you put up 30 plus points, but you only throw 8 passes, complete 6 of them, and you have no touchdowns.
Why would you pass the ball?
But he won the game.
Playoff run. Wait, you're talking about that playoff run. Why would you pass the ball if you're running the ball that effectively? It's like that just doesn't make sense to me. They were averaging to over 200 yards rushing a game. Why are you going to pass the ball?
Because they needed to know how to pass the ball when it mattered, when they could play against a team who actually could score. And when it came down to it, he only threw 100, and he had 120 some yards against Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. I agree. But you're saying he's a winner, and he's not. Hold on, Gabe. But you're talking about everything he doesn't do. No. You're saying he's a winner, but you're saying a team is averaging 200 yards rushing the ball, meaning he's not the reason they're winning. There's a win con. He's not the win con.
He is though. He's a winner because the record says so. He is. It's just, I'm sorry to say, like, how are you gonna say he's a loser though?
So Gabe, if you never throw a ball in the NFL and your team wins, does that mean you're a winner?
He has more touchdowns than interceptions, so you're wrong there. So let's get to the next point. Where's the next point?
Okay, he doesn't finish the season. He's only had one season with 16 games, and that
you got that one. That's true. You got that one.
He's lost his spot 2 or 3 times. I'm saying we're talking about recent. He's lost his spot twice.
Facts, bro.
He's lost his spot to rookie.
In that it's just better. Like we can't argue that.
It's
better overall. I mean,
look. Stats support tape. I look at tape. I judge tape more than I look at stats. Stats can be misleading.
I don't know. I haven't.
Yeah, because the thing is, if we go by stat wise, the Raiders have one of the best offensive line in the league. Yet we're trying to trade all our offensive linemen and say we need to upgrade though.
Trade.
Why would you want to upgrade your offensive line if they're one of the better ones in the league based off of stats?
We kept everybody.
But you want to upgrade? You say you need.
No, I think.
Do we need to upgrade? Do we need to upgrade?
The only spot that's up for debate. Is I think. The other guard spot, which I think Moody's going to take that spot, so I think we're solid at the line.
Look, I would love Jimmy G if we surrounded him with what he wins with. I would love Jimmy G. Jimmy G is a great manager of the game. He can manage a game. He can minimize his mistakes, but he needs key tools to win a game. We do not have that. We're trying to ask this guy to do something he's never ever done in the league.
He had 12 touchdowns in the red zone last year.
12 touchdowns in the red zone. Then he have Then he have 4 in one game. So I mean, he threw 8 the rest of the game.
12 in the red zone last year. But you were saying that he didn't do nothing. That he never throws.
I never said he didn't do anything.
You just said that.
Majority of them is being run in. He threw 12 touchdowns. Okay, 12 touchdowns. That's something immaculate.
He only played 9 games. And he got hurt in the 9th game. So he really only played 8. And he threw 12 touchdowns in the red zone. That's not including his other touchdown passes. He threw 12 touchdowns in the red zone.
And he had, 1 300-yard game too then? I mean, there's other intangibles you would want to see. He doesn't do it. He's not going to.
It's okay, bro. I know you don't like him. You don't like it. It's cool.
No. We're not surrounding him. No, we're not surrounding him with what he needs.
Our next stop is Dodger Stadium, home of the 2020 World Series champions, the LA Dodgers.
You know, they're gonna be 2023 champs. You don't have to update that.
I don't think you can
Yeah.
name me 5 offenses better, though.
Hey,
You
look,
can't name me 5 offenses better than what as a Raider as a whole right now.
5 offenses? Every offense
Yeah.
in the AFC West is better than us.
here we go.
Nope.
All right, here you go.
Our next stop is Dodger Stadium, home of the 20.
So, the show is about defense and what we've done on defense. If you would like to talk about
I was trying to get there.
our offense later.
I was trying to get there. We don't have that. We don't have the defense.
Offense has been the highlight of every show that I've seen and talked to and watched over, I don't know,
It's my
as long
first
as
show
I've
of the
been
season.
gone, right? The defense finally does something. We've been asking for the defense to make some moves, and I want to focus on them.
We talked about it. They
I
made.
don't even know why Carr was even brought up
I didn't. I was talking about Jimmy G.
anymore. Whatever quarterback we got, wish that motherfucker the best. Do your goddamn thing. Make some dubs out this bitch, and let's move on.
All right. So what else do we need to talk about on defense?
But you're not gonna be able to do that without the defense. Nah, we didn't talk about the defense. We didn't speak about the fact that
We just brushed over it.
you got a Marcus Peters now. You have a lot that you're depending on with a Devon Diablo and a Spillane that you just brought in, right? You supposedly upgraded your defensive front. Chandler Jones is supposedly in better shape and gotten better. We'll see.
He did. He is.
Okay,
Yeah,
but we'll have to see, right?
I got
my
a-
whole thing
And not coming into the season hurt too, because last season he came into the season hurt.
Yeah. I got a question though about the Marcus Peters, because
He got a hand issue, Dave.
the Marcus Peters situation, they said Marcus Peters came in for a visit, but then they also brought in Troy Hill. Was Troy Hill just a, you know what I'm saying, bystander, or do you really think they were actually looking out at him too?
They brought him in
Yeah.
as a comparison to Marcus Peters.
I think they wanted, but he asked for more, and Marcus asked for less, and Marcus gave a better deal. That's why they signed Marcus.
I think they brought him in as a competition. That's what teams do.
Like comparison.
I was gonna say that because usually when they have people for visits, they always have somebody that has that, you know, if they bring in a wide receiver, they bring in another wide receiver to, like, you know, kind of like, okay, who's better, you know what I'm saying, kind of make a competition.
Did they work out, or did they just come in to talk?
No,
I think it worked out because
They
I
both worked out?
know that what's his name, that was the talk when he signed the shit was like that, like I guess rap report, or I don't know, rap sheet, that on the rap sheet shit he said like that it was, the Raiders were very impressed with his workout, I guess, with Peter's workout.
Yeah, it's standard talk, man. That's standard PR talk.
That's why I don't pay too much attention to that, but like I mean, not a lot of times teams even bring that up, so like maybe that's a little something. I mean, I wouldn't put too much into it, but
I mean, personally, who did y'all prefer though?
Me,
Troy Hill or Peters? Me, Peters.
So they went with the better
I
guy.
preferred Peters. I told you when free agency started, I told you this is a guy that they need to go out and get. This brings you leadership in the locker room. If you're gonna go ahead and let Denzel Perryman walk away, you need to bring in a big voice. This is the voice you need to bring in. This is the guy who can hold your defense together in tough situations. He can motivate players to do what it is they need to do. You know what I mean? He can coach them on the field and off the field. When I say off the field, I mean practice. You know what I mean? I mean in practice. When I say on the field, I mean in game time situations when they don't know what to do. He can be like, look, man, I've been here before. Look, this is what we gonna do. You know what I mean?
I think on the defense,
you know what I mean?
That was the room that needed that. That was the one room that I think that needed that type of leadership, because I think linebackers, I think they have Spillane, who comes from a well-coached, organization, to where,
safety in college.
You know, and then I think in the defensive line they got, you know, Chandler Jones. Maybe is not what he was once, but you know he has something to prove, and you know he has been a leader before on the defense. And then they still got, you know, Max Crosby, to where they got those type of guys in that room. You needed somebody like that in that DB room.
Well,
Yeah,
apparently
DB,
Peters had a better workout than Hill too. So
yeah, I'm not mad at. I mean, like he brings a lot of things for me off the field that are important. You know, one,
Yeah.
he still knows how Kansas City plays. That's one reason why I like it. Two, he feels a need that definitely needs to be filled as an on the field leader that guys will respect, have to respect, and he's going to demand that respect. But the most important thing is he's going to test a lot of guys' character. We're going to see who's really a man on this team.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, bro.
Yeah, especially the wide receiver.
If you give me the fucking opportunity to play for my fucking childhood team, bro, I'm about to go out there and give it everything I got.
Yeah.
Man, I don't give a shit if I got 9 toes, bro. I'm about to go out there and give it everything I got, bro.
Yeah.
Everything.
I want to see when it goes up with like reps.
It's just a pleasure to don the silver and black, bro.
Oh yeah,
That's
course.
first and
Especially
foremost.
when you grew up. Especially when you grew up as a fan too.
Like Devontae, bro.
But you know what's going to happen though, right? The Raiders are about to love this. You know it's going to be in the house now.
He's always been in the house, bro.
Lynch?
Ain't nothing changed.
Who?
He was at the game when I was there.
Who?
Marshawn?
Marshawn.
He gonna have a bigger part though. He gonna be on the side. Well, I don't know if he gonna be on the sideline.
Yeah,
If he had the right coach, he would be on the sideline doing
You know what? In
things.
all honesty, bro, I don't even really know how much he even wants to be in Vegas right about now, bro. After that incident,
Oh
Nah.
shit! That
You know
fool was
what I mean?
twisted though.
yeah,
man.
bro.
He
He
was-
might be actually staying away from Vegas right about now. You know, because I see him all over the place.
He was rolling around on a rim.
God, man, I ain't seen you in a minute, brother. Salute.
Hey, and it didn't slow him down one bit. The very next day he did the same thing in the Bay. It's just the Bay protecting him. That's all that was. He didn't do nothing different. He'll be fine.
Chilling. That's just Marshawn, man. That's
Yeah.
Marshawn.
Hey, look. MD's gonna take care of him this time. All right, you get a little crazy. Now that you're gonna be a guest, he gonna take care of him. He gonna have him with a driver and all that.
Yeah, he coming with
Yeah,
a
give him
driver.
that Uber
He
Black,
gonna have
bro.
a driver.
You know
Yeah.
that? Uber Black. You know what I mean? Shit, give him some of that shit, dog. Keep him on standby.
Because it wasn't that serious. Because it was a simple slap on the wrist. They threw that under the rug real quick. That's how you know it wasn't
That
serious.
man gonna come
For
out.
real,
here and
you
get
never heard about that
everything
shit
he got,
again.
bro.
Because he's the guy, man.
Hey, look, what? So, let me ask you this question here. I'm gonna ask y'all this one by one, starting with Twan. Twan, what are your expectations from this Marcus Peters signing?
Competition. I just again I think I'm gonna keep that same voice is he's gonna he as much as people may not feel like he is a number one corner or whatever the situation may be, he's gonna talk like he's a number one corner. You know what I'm saying? And that just that talking should, you know what I'm saying, put some pep in, you know, Hobbs and Tyler Hall. You know what I'm saying? It should put some pep in those guys. So that's what I'm looking for is competition. And if he happens to be out there, then he happens to be out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. JT, my friend, what are your expectations of this?
My expectation? Same as it was before. They don't change. He don't move the needle. He don't move the needle. I'm gonna be honest. All he's doing is coming to teach these kids. He's not moving the needle to put us over the hump of getting us to the playoffs. He's not that guy no more. And we don't even have the defense. No, we're far off, man. We're far off. What I want is the kids to be his shadow, man. Hobbs needs to be his shadow. Moraine needs to be his shadow because they had sophomore slumps. You know what I'm saying? Now they got a guy who knows the game, who played the game, He played the game at a very high level. He excelled. He was considered one of the best of his time as a top for a long time. They need to be picking his brain. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the guys in the DB room are on him like glue. They're following him. They're listening to him. That's what I want to hear. Other than that, I ain't no expectations for my expectations and stuff on the field, really, and that ain't changed. He don't change that.
Gabe, my friend.
Like I'm not too far off, but like I do believe like this signing is not like it's not gonna put us over the hump, to say like he's like the number one corner, but I'm also on a little bit on the boat with Twando, because this is gonna put those guys that are like on the fence to make the team, that competition that much, that much more like, just it's gonna be more intense, bro, with the guys that are on the chopping block, trying to make that last spot as as a corner and stuff like that. To where, like, to me, I think the increments that we're gonna do, that are gonna pay off in the offensive side, and all that shit, that will speak for itself. To where I think our defense doesn't have to I think, like, improve to the point to where we need to be like a top 10 defense or something like that. Just get us in the top 17, 15 type defense. And I think that will, if we can do that, if we can make that type of leap, on the defensive end, we can, I think we can just we can make a run at this at the end, bro. I think we can be there at the end for one of these last playoff spots or something like that, because Peters does bring, that leadership to that room. You know what I mean? So I think that it's gonna help out, but like I do also think that it's not, groundbreaking type shit. You know what I mean? But it's solid, especially for the number.
Yeah.
For me, my expectations are pretty much along the lines of, like I told you when I asked for him in the beginning. I need somebody who's going to come in here and be a dominant voice. That's my expectation of him. Come in here, be a dominant voice, be a teacher. You know what I mean? Still be a presence in situations needed. I'm not expecting him to be a day one starter. If he can, cool, great. You know what I mean? There ain't no reason to have a Marcus Peters on your roster if a Marcus Peters can't play. Let's just be honest about that. There's no reason to really have a Marcus Peters on your roster if Marcus Peters can't play. So I'm definitely believing that he showed them everything that he needed to show them, in his workout. A 1 year, $5 million deal is not a bad deal.
What is he, like 29?
His market value was up like 9.6 or something like that. 9.7. That was his market value.
I think he just turned 30.
He just turned 30. Troy Hill was 31. So you got a younger player, and if you're asking me, he's a better player than Troy Hill. He's still the number one active guy with the most interceptions in the NFL right now. He still has that. So, quarterbacks are going to think about that. You know what I mean? Yeah, he hasn't had multiple interceptions, in quite some time. But if you go and look at his stats, there's not a season where he hasn't had an interception, aside from the one that he didn't play in 2021. That doesn't count because he wasn't on the field. So, with that being said, I expect at least one interception out of him. At least one. If I get 3, bro. If Amit can get another 2, if he can get 3, you know what I mean? We could add some picks in at the linebacker somewhere, scatter them around, say 4 from our linebacking core. Scatter them around, bro. However you want to dish them out. Say we get 4 from there. You know what I mean? Some bat downs at the line. Maybe
that's the ultimate equalizer.
Throw in another 3 interceptions from our safeties. Hey, look, it's still not NFL caliber, but you know what? It's more than what we've been getting.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It's more than what we've been getting.
Way more than what we've been getting, dog. There's some years where we fucking had like what? I think there was one year where we had like one interception from our DBs.
Man,
One interception from our fucking DBs, and I think it was Amik Robinson that year that had the only interception that year.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
yeah,
Like I think 2 years ago.
yeah.
For
2 years
real,
ago,
dog.
we had
It's
one
crazy.
interception, and it was by me.
By the
But
corners, I think, because I think our safeties had, I think, one, I think, or something like that. But as far as corners, one interception, and that was Amik.
there goes his name again.
There goes Mama. There goes that man.
You know what I'm saying? Can't get rid of him because every time you think about getting rid of him, what happens?
Last
He
year, he
shows
took a
up.
fumble to the house.
Hey, look, he doubled what he had the year before, right? So he had one the year before, then he had two. Look, man, come out this year, man, he get 4. Boom. You had that with a Marcus Peters 2 or 3. You had that with a Nate Hobbs 2 or 3. You know what I mean? Look, you're talking about something now, right?
Those are the ultimate equalizers, bro. When you get turnovers, and that's what's been missing on this defense. You know what I mean? You could be kind of bad, statistically sometimes, like like you could, and not too bad, but the ultimate equalizer is turnovers, bro. Because when you can make when those turnovers are always, I mean, the other team could drive the ball as much as they want, but if you get a fucking interception, you know what I mean? They can't score. So
I'm
that's
asking because I see this over here from All Eyes on G, and it's a pretty good question. It's a pretty good statement. He says keep Peters on number 2 since he ain't gonna help Devontae, right? But laugh out loud. I get what he's saying, but I'm taking away that help Devontae area, right? Keeping him on 2. So who would be the number 1 corner on our roster right now?
I think right now what
It's
they're
Hobbs.
trying to do.
What corner? No, all
Hobbs
right,
is our
look,
number
I won't
1.
even. All right, let me rephrase it. Don't let me. I'm not going to ask you who's the number 1 corner. I'm going to ask you what corner do you trust the most to play a number 1 wide receiver?
Fuck.
Nate
Right now,
Hobbs.
to be honest, right now, because of the struggles that Nate Hobbs had last year, I would want to see at least a little bit on a number 2, and then maybe take Peter's spot, maybe later on in the season. But I don't know, man. Or even Duke Shelley.
Yeah, I was gonna say between Marcus Peters and Duke Shelley, I would throw them out there. Be honest with you.
But I do think like if Hobbs though does start off good though, they are gonna move him to that role, because that I think they are pushing for him to be that guy for us. You know what I mean? For
See,
like that.
everybody got a meek so far down. Chuck the Jedi, bro. I respect your opinion, and you're entitled to it. But everybody's got a meek so far down the roster,
Damn,
bro. And he's actually so much better than these other guys. And he's
you got him
proven.
behind Faison and Hall. Damn.
I don't have him behind Faison and Hall. I don't. I don't
either.
I think it goes. If I'm being honest, I believe it goes Peters, Hobbs, Shelley, Amik, Bennett.
Corian, you think they keep what? That's what, 5 or 4? That's 5, right?
I think they may run with 6, but that's the 5 right there.
And the other 3 would be
Brandon Faison would probably be my 6.
Yeah, just because he's a taller dude who can maybe kind of line up against those type of bigger.
I mean, if you Bennett, Faison, Peters, and Shelley, they can all play outside, right? Hobbs and Amik, they're gonna be your inside guy.
I would like that, like, because he excelled at that role, dog. You know what I mean, Hobbs. But I just think that they're trying to push him to the outside. And I don't know why. But
they got to make up their mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate, and I've been saying this. You know what I'm saying? That just for players in general, especially young players, you can't just continue to keep moving them. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing they as people and people hate Clee, but that's the same thing they did with Clee. They made Clee, you know, oh now I need you to gain weight. Now I need you to, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to give that person one job. Tell them to do that. You know what I'm saying? Especially a young person, because they're trying to develop. They're trying to build their catalog of, you know what I'm saying, how they play. That Hobbs in the slot was the best situation because he played well in the slot. And then the second year is like, okay, now I know what's expected in the slot. All I'm going to do is build on top of that. They moved him now. So it's like now he has to build a whole nother book of how to, you know what I'm saying, play outside. You know what I'm saying?
So would it be, but since they did move to the outside, would it be smart to move him now back to the inside? If he's like, what if he was like getting used to it, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so.
I would say you would have to keep him outside if especially with Patrick Graham. If Patrick Graham designated him to be on the outside, I say you just keep him outside. Just simple as that. Because again, you have a young person. It's tough to have.
I think what happens there too. Also, I think it's a little psychological type shit too. Like, because if you move him back to the inside, it's kind of telling him like, you know, you didn't cut it. You know what I mean? We put you outside, you didn't cut it. So I think it will be kind of, you know, like, you know, I think it wouldn't be beneficial.
It's seen as a downgrade because you know when you play corner, you know what I'm saying. Your goal is to, you know, to be number one. You want to be on the outside with the big guys outside. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to be known. I mean, now the slot game has evolved, but
yeah.
All these corners, their dream is to, you know,
the shine is on the outside, bro. I get it. You know what I mean? The shine is on the outside. You know what I mean?
That's what gets the play from
them. It's good with you, man. Salute. You know what I mean? Salute to you. Appreciate you tuning in. But you know what I mean? Like, bro, you can't. Like Nate Hobbs saying in the interview, he feel more comfortable inside than outside. That's not saying he can't play outside. He just says he's more comfortable
recently
inside. Yeah,
he said that recently. I mean, if he said that, then I mean, then you know that's. I mean,
I'm just saying,
kind of him throwing up his hands. Kind of.
Here's the thing: get comfortable whatever they put you at.
Yep, because that's kind of throwing up your hands to me, like that. When you're saying some shit like that, you know what I mean, like. Nah, I'm ready to take on these motherfucking number one receivers. That's what your mindset's got to be.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear. Well, man, you know, they got me outside, but you know, I really feel like I'm more comfortable inside than I am out here, and like I'm not saying that I can't do it.
That's kind of like, you know,
I'm kind of like lost. I'm uncomfortable out here.
Inside or outside, just make up your mind where you want to put them. Don't have them hopping.
Here's what you got to think about. If they're playing him on the outside, how well is Amik doing at slot?
I just think like it's ideal for like if he can get that, if he can get it, dog, and actually play the outside well, Hobbs, then you have guys like Duke Shelley and fucking and Amik playing the slot positions to where they have like four wide receiver sets. I mean,
yeah.
That shit would be
and that's
a nice combination of corners, bro.
How bad are these other corners if you're having to play Amik at slot and moving Nate Hobbs to the outside to have an outside corner? These are all things you got to think about,
but
right? Like it's all done for a reason, bro. Like I'm telling you, as a defensive back coach, bro, it's all done for a reason. It's all done for. I like this guy, but man, when I look at this guy, man, he can, man, you know, I mean, the way he covers, the way he reads, you know, how he plays the ball, you know, what I mean, his knowledge of what's going on, play recognition, things of that. All of that comes into effect, and then you have to take all of that, calculate it up, and then figure out what's the better fit for your defense.
Well,
Right.
but also at the same time, you look at it and you say, what's left? You know what I'm saying? What's left is a whole bunch of undrafted free agents. So did they really believe in them, or did they, you know what I'm saying, did they just throw them out there by default because again they just needed corners to fill the spots? You know what I'm saying? So that might be why they're moving, like you said, they're moving Amik and them around because maybe Bryce Cosby and you know what I'm saying, Webb and Hall really weren't, you know what I'm saying, they didn't see what they liked from them.
Yeah. Another question is how much does Masterson, improve? You know what I mean? How much does Diablo improve? You know what I mean? With the, the weight that he's put on and stuff like that. So it's like I feel like, Spillane's gonna be not over the top type player, great, whatever, but I think he's gonna be solid because he's well coached, like I've said about him. And I just think he's improved, also. And I just feel like how good are those to be? Those That's the one position where I would be like, you know what I mean, where I would try to keep an eye out the most on, the linebacker position. But because I just feel like the defensive line, especially with the re-signing of Tillery, you kind of seen a little bit of even what's his name get a little bit more comfortable when they signed Tillery. Unfortunately, that he got hurt, a couple games later, but Chandler Jones did, kind of what had his best couple of games when they did sign Tillery. You know what I mean? So I think having him under now a whole training camp, OTAs, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And then second year player and Neil Farrell Jr. and stuff like that, and just guys that that are going to be better. You know what I mean? I just think it's the defensive line is going to be better this year, just quicker, just
That's
better overall.
I think that's going to be a situation because I think there's a whole lot of defensive tackles that we have on this roster right at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And the question for me is who's going to go?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of defensive tackles.
There's Jordan Willis. They got fucking that guy John Jenkins, I think, that draft pick Nesta Silva or something like that.
Yeah.
They got Bilal Nichols, Neil Farrell Jr., Matthew Butler. So they got quite Tillery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So all those guys are for defensive tackle spots. You know what I mean? So who's gonna come up? Being the guys, because what do they keep, like three defensive tackles? What most of the time they keep like 3 defensive tackles,
something like that. But check it out.
Vegas.
That's the closing thoughts. That is the closing thoughts segment. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the show where we will now take closing thoughts from our panel on today's show and where they stand. Taking into account, bringing in Marcus Peters. What is your thoughts on the defense as a whole moving forward? Start with JT. You there, JT?
We gonna suck again.
All right, water boy.
Fucking JT. Yeah, just
Twan. Since JT don't have anything to say, where are you at, man?
You know me. I'll spit truth, but I'll be also optimistic at the same time. My hope is, you know what I'm saying, with Marcus Peters coming in, I think the locker room, you know what I'm saying, will have a certain morale. You know what I'm saying? I've noticed that a lot of good defensive teams, they have a certain swagger about themselves, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, I think about the 2000, I'm not saying that we're the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, but you know what I'm saying, I think about, like, defense like that, there was a swagger about them. Even the team that I really don't like is the Niners. You know what I'm saying? Their defense, they got a certain swagger about themselves. And I think if Marcus Peters can, kind of bring that out. You know what I'm saying, of some of, you know, some of that being infectious to some of the other guys. I think that might help our rankings in our defense. And again, at this point, I think there's no other place but up with us, because we've been on the bottom for a while defensively. So yeah.
For sure.
And then let me get your thoughts on this question right here. Casper said he's been asking for weeks and people been avoiding it. So what's your thoughts?
Speaking on defense, is Tyree changing his number soon, or is he playing outside linebacker because he isn't keeping his current number? Numbers aren't. They're not doing that no more. Like you can, that number doesn't assign you to a position. So he is not going to be a linebacker. He does not have what it takes to be a linebacker in the NFL.
Don't matter.
And from the tape that I'm looking at, I actually like him better at defensive tackle than on the edge. For what I've been seeing what I've been breaking down, he actually does very well inside, and with his strength and what he brings to the table, I think he brings more to the team on the inside, on Chandler or on Crosby, but preferably Crosby. I think it would be beneficial to him. Also, it will protect him a lot more from being on the outside. Like I said, this is all on the tape that I have. He is, I hate to say it, but he's really bad on the outside, especially in run pass options. He's horrible in run pass. And
we were just talking about the number, man. We just asked the question about the number, brother.
Oh, the number that I mean, yeah, he's playing inside, preferably in defensive tackle, to be honest with you.
But you like him if he's on the inside, because for a while you just didn't like the guy at all. You was like, man, I'm not having this, bro. But
yeah.
So you see an upside now?
I mean, I see a lot of good things that he has. But yeah, I just want to see what Patrick Graham does, because Patrick Graham can make him or break him, to be honest with you. He has that type of talent, but if the coaches don't coach him right, he can turn to Jamarcus Russell real quick.
I think that's just with any player, you know what I'm saying? Like, as much as we might say a player is good, you know what I'm saying? If that coach doesn't know what to do with him, you know what I'm saying? there goes that person's career, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they may not even get a chance to bounce back, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is, like, Jamarcus Russell had a once in a lifetime type of arm. Tyree Wilson has once in a lifetime type of strength. And honestly, I hope they're showing him Reggie White tape and learning the hump move. If he gets the hump move, he'll be, man, I would say he will have a great season. I was trying to get it to him. I don't know if it got to him, but he needs to watch Reggie White tape and just work on getting a hump move. Like,
that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear about Lane Johnson saying that
Cash Lord, yes, I am.
Max Crosby is the hardest guy he's ever blocked?
Yeah. He's like that for a lot of people. I just think the media just doesn't like him because he doesn't have that he's too hood. He's too hood. No, it's not even as a Raider, he's just too hood. The tattoos, he's not marketable. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bosa, TJ Watt, JJ Watt, they don't have the tattoos or the look he has. They don't have the urban look. That's why they don't market him like that. But you look at the other guys that they market that he outplays and plays just like, they can market him to a lot more people. You can only really market Max Crosby to the urban community.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on camera a lot lately. I think it was more about him too. Like he had that supposedly, when not supposedly he did, battle with that, like that mental issues that he was going through and shit like that. So I think he's being more vocal now, coming out on more podcasts and shit like that, being more out there. Trying to sell him more now.
Yeah, honestly, he needs to talk to Travis Kelce more, because Travis Kelce had that same issue.
Yeah, maybe that could boom him. That's gonna get his booming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like this team's gonna get better. I think the defense as a whole, we're gonna get not too like to where I said like I don't think we're gonna be a top 10 defense, top even 12 or whatever. I just think getting even a little bit better and just being like Dirty said, being opportunistic will have this defense, good enough to where I think our offense is solid. And I just think if we just make that little bit of a jump on defense, we could be there at the end because that's what we were missing. You know what I mean? I think that's what we were missing at the end of the day last year, even
I
with the
got
struggles.
I got a question for all you guys. Are we a top 21 defense?
I'm hoping the top 15. I'm just being honest. I'm hoping top 15.
No.
That's what I'm.
Where do you see? Like, I understand hope. We all want the hope.
Top 15.
That's where you see us at.
Yes.
Where you at, Gabe?
I
Where you
say
see
when
it?
it's all said and done, when Patrick Graham gets a chance to do his thing, I'm just being optimistic. I told y'all, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm seeing what they're putting together. I just want to see how it plays out. Let me see how it plays out. I'm not going to downgrade it until I see that it doesn't work.
How many?
I'm tired of going in seasons negative and and this guy, oh man, that guy. I don't want to do that this year. I'm gonna look and
I'll
see.
say top 20 for sure. Top 20 for sure. I think.
I think they could. I think they could crack the top 15, man.
I think that
the way they're building the defense, bro. I think they can crack.
That'd be great. I think that would be like the best case scenario. I think that would have us like I think that would really have us in a position to be, as one of those fucking playoff teams at the end, like in the wild card or something like that, But like top 20, I think we could. I think we could get there at top 20. I just think we've built enough. I think competition for this camp to where I think certain guys are gonna come out on top, and I think and then we have, some guys with something to prove on the defense. So I think, yeah, top 20. I'll say top 20 for sure.
I mean, every year, I think I've been hearing and listening. You know what I'm saying? Every year, we hope our defense is the middle of the pack. You know what I'm saying? And I think again that's the hope for me. I've been saying also with our defenses overall is fairly young. So I hope that we get there, but if we don't, we will eventually get there because again, I try to give the rookies and the young ones time. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you why I feel like it's a top 15 defense. I'm looking at how it was built and the players that they used to build it and what it is they're gonna do with it. See, I've looked at it, I figured it out. Right. A lot of other teams are gonna have a hard time. I don't even know if I should say live what it is. I figured out.
Keep it to yourself.
The way that this defense is built, and I know that there's a defense that they use, which requires 7 defensive backs to play. Right? You have your two dot callers, your linebackers, in Devon Diablo and Spillane, both are safeties from college, playing linebacker in the NFL. I'm just saying, man, the way that it is built and the way that I think they're going to attack, man, top 15, bro. Top 15. I'm just saying. It's going to be a defense. It's going to be a defense like no other defense you've seen play. They experimented with it last year, but they just didn't have the right defense pieces. This year they got pieces, bro. And that's one of the reasons I'm telling you Amik's not going anywhere. Amik is one of the only pieces from last year that actually figured it out. But this year, what they're doing, I'm telling you, man, top 15. If at right number 15. You know what I mean? But the way they're building this defense, the way that the players that they got and the way that they're going about getting these guys and the way they go about using them, I already knew they were going to use Tyree on the inside. because I was listening and reading in between the lines when I heard him mumble something about him playing on the inside. So I think the whole team is a NASCAR package, bro. They're gonna play with speed and pressure. They're
Fast
gonna play with speed and
defense.
pressure. And it's going.
I'm not even gonna respond to it.
Huh?
Nah, I just saw I finally looked at a comment and I turned comments back off. I'm not even gonna respond to it.
Man,
I'm trying. I'm trying to look at comments, yo. I'm sorry.
don't look at comments, bro.
I'm not gonna go off on another tangent. I'm not.
I just like that. That's a big thing right there too. All eyes with all eyes right there. Like, I think if you can get better on both sides of the ball in the red zone, that right there is that because that's been our Achilles heel for fucking on both sides of the ball for years, though. We're one of the teams that gives up the most touchdowns in the red zone, and one of the teams that scores the least amount of touchdowns in the red zone. So it's like fuck, like that's a recipe for like you know what I mean, like it's not a good recipe, you know what I mean. So it's like if we can like churn those numbers around, dog, that will help a lot for sure. Those red zone numbers have to be fixed.
Hey, Terrence, I'm gonna just say this real quick, Terrence. At the end of the season, you're gonna have a girlfriend. I'm not gonna put your comment up, but yeah, you're gonna have a girlfriend.
What are you saying?
Gabe, I agree with you. I think, but I'll also add too. I think our third down situations was horrible on defense. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
Third and 20s being converted. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now. We supposed to be getting off the field 3rd and 20. Come on now. Stuff like that. So if they could clean that stuff up too, I think that.
And turnovers, dog, being opportunistic, like we were talking about earlier. Got to be able to create more turnovers. Have more guys opportunities.
Hey, you just said if we make the top 15, T. You said it, T. I'm just telling you. If we crack top 15, you're gonna have a girlfriend, bro. That's what you said. That's what you said.
Hey T, you good. You good, T. No worries.
All right, man. Here you got JT over here. Everything's up for review with him. You know what I mean? Everything's up for review. So
I just think it's gonna be good. We're gonna be okay though.
Hey, look, the one thing I can say, the one thing I can say is that when he actually sits down and goes and looks at some shit and dives into it, and he knows he's wrong, he'll come back and say, you know what? You was right.
Hey man, make me eat crow. I love eating crow. Shit, let's be honest. When we did the breakdown, I picked the most wins out of everybody. I said we win in 7.
Man, you didn't pick the most wins out of everybody.
When we did the sit down, I had 7 wins.
Loon had the most wins out of everybody.
Right, okay, Loon, come on.
Anyway, so to end my show, the question was asked, am I doing fantasy football again this year? Yes, fantasy football will be back. I will make a small short video for it. We are going to trim the field this year to 10. 10. I think we're going to do 10 or 12. I think we're going to do 12. We're going to do 12 player max. First 11 people to get at me on IG and the DM, reserving their spot. Working out the details now. How we're going to go about doing it. I think I'm going to raise the pot just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. I think we're going to go to $50. You know what I mean? It's still winner takes all. There is no second place. Yeah. So that's a cool, 600? It's a cool 600.
If you're not first, you're last.
If you're not first, you're last. You know what I mean?
People need to pay attention to the actual league.
Yeah. So that fantasy football will be back this year. I'm just trying to figure out what platform I'm gonna use this year. How much, if we actually gonna go to 50, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, and still winner takes all. You know what I mean? First place gets it all. So Yep. Anyways, fellas, it's always a pleasure, man. JT, let them know where they can find you, man.
Find me at Up for Review. You know, yeah, you can find me at Up for Review everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, Foursquare, your index cards. Find me everywhere.
For sure. Twan, what's good with you, man? I know you got an announcement to make, man. Something going down, something brewing, something special about to pop off, man. Tell the people
Man,
about it, brother.
I've been cooking, man, and it's about time to serve, man. I'm letting you guys know that this week, this Thursday at 7 p.m., I will be releasing and launching Raider Twan first official live. So, um, come out. You know what I'm saying? Show some love. I'm also going to have a content creator on there that you guys haven't seen in a while. And he's going to be on with me. And then eventually I'm going to have what I would like to have is all the content creators that I've been on shows with to eventually, you know, pull up on panel and, you know what I'm saying, for even if it's for, you know, 2 minutes, you know what I'm saying, just pull up and you know, show your face. So Thursday at 7 p.m. And again, I don't know how long we're going to run, but we're going to be chilling and just having a good time. So definitely share it out to everybody. Let everybody know that, you know, Raider Twan is out. And I'm so excited. Again, I'm so excited because I haven't released any of my images. I have a new logo, everything. So you guys will be able to see that, an intro video and all that good stuff. So can't wait for you guys to see that Thursday at 7 p.m.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then again, you guys, Twan on IG. You know what I'm saying? If you guys if you need prayer or whatever, you know, I got you guys covered for real.
Gabe, what you got, man?
Oh shit, man. We just came back today. Shit, you know, we had a smoke out today at 420. But we're gonna be back too, man. We're gonna be back. We're gonna be doing this shit. You know, any news breaks out, we're gonna be doing those spontaneous ones. We look out for a lot of shorts. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be doing. But I'm going also again. I'm gonna go live too. I'm going to get live on Thursday as well. But I'm gonna go earlier at 420. So and then, you know, I'll pass it off to Twan. You know what I mean? There we go. So that way we get all the, you know, everybody watching right there. We'll you know, we'll head over to Twan's at right after. So yeah, 420. We're gonna be going Mondays and Thursdays for sure. So that for sure those days, and then, you know, we're gonna try to be, you know, going little spontaneous. Like, you know, if there's like news that breaks, we're gonna be going live too. And also another thing, I'm gonna be starting another channel. Just look out for that. We're gonna be starting another channel, but it's just gonna be nothing but, you know, sports. You know, it's gonna be we're gonna be fucking, you know, just covering all sports. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep this shit Raider shit. You know what I mean? Right here on my channel, the Raider Gate 420. That's where you can find me on all platforms. And but for sure, man, we're gonna be doing that, and we're gonna be talking Raiders, nothing but Raiders on that. But we're gonna be starting another channel soon. But I'll keep you guys informed when that shit kicks off for sure. Talking all sports.
As always, man, it's a pleasure, man. 50 billion things on YouTube. The fact that you allow me to grace your screen for any amount of time, greatly appreciated. And as always, no matter how much it rains, hey, you can never stop the sun from shining. Raider Nation, fuck who hates you, who fucking loves you. We out. Peace.